Is Bitcoin the ultimate symbol of global greed? Quite the provocative question, isn't it? When we think of Bitcoin, we're often drawn to its meteoric rise and the frenzy it stirred up globally. It's a digital gold rush that has gripped the world, attracting everyone from Wall Street sharks to your next-door neighbor. But is this fascination with Bitcoin a reflection of our inherent greed? This digital currency, born in the midst of financial crisis, has grown to represent so much more than just a new way to transact. It's become a symbol of wealth, of power, and yes, perhaps even of greed. But why? And how? In this video, we're going to peel back the layers of the Bitcoin phenomenon. We'll explore its timeline, from its mysterious birth to its unprecedented rise, and the impact it has had on our world. So, is Bitcoin feeding our global greed? Let's dive into the timeline of its rise and find out. Rewind to 2008. The world was in the grip of a financial crisis, and Bitcoin was born. This was a time when banks were failing, economies were crumbling, and trust in the traditional financial system was waning. In the midst of this economic turmoil, a mysterious figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto introduced Bitcoin, an innovative digital currency, to the world. This wasn't just any currency. Bitcoin was different. It was decentralized, operating independently of any central bank. It offered a new way of transacting, a system that was transparent, secure, and efficient. This sparked a wave of interest. People began to see it as an alternative to the traditional banking system, an escape from the clutches of financial institutions that had let them down. But with this interest came greed. Investors, speculators, and everyday people were drawn to the allure of Bitcoin's potential riches. Bitcoin, the new kid on the block, was about to make a massive impact. From its humble beginnings, Bitcoin's value skyrocketed, and so did global greed. The story of Bitcoin's meteoric rise is a tale of dizzying highs and jaw-dropping lows. It's a testament to the power of digital disruption and a reflection of our insatiable human greed. Let's take a journey back in time to trace the significant milestones in Bitcoin's ascent. In 2011, Bitcoin crossed the $1 barrier, a defining moment that signaled its potential to disrupt traditional financial systems. It was a glimpse into a future where a digital currency could command real-world value. In 2013, Bitcoin hit the $100 mark. It was a benchmark that proved Bitcoin wasn't just a passing fad. It was becoming a contender in the world of finance. Speculators and investors started to take notice. The allure of quick riches began to draw in the masses. Then came 2017, a year that would go down in the annals of financial history. Bitcoin reached its peak, nearly touching $20,000. The world watched in astonishment as this digital currency, created by an anonymous entity, shook the very foundations of global finance. This astonishing rise fueled an unprecedented wave of greed. Ordinary people, seduced by the promise of instant wealth, started investing their life savings into Bitcoin. Companies too jumped on the bandwagon, hoping to cash in on the Bitcoin bonanza. It was as if the whole world was in the grip of Bitcoin fever. But it wasn't just about the money. Bitcoin's rise also highlighted a deep-seated dissatisfaction with traditional banking systems. It was a rebellion against the status quo, a desire for a more decentralized and democratic form of finance. Yet, in this rebellion, the lines between ambition and greed blurred. The promise of a decentralized future was overshadowed by the sheer scale of speculative frenzy. It wasn't just a currency anymore. Bitcoin had become a symbol of global greed. As Bitcoin's value soared, it seemed like the whole world was caught in a fever of greed. But every high has its low, and Bitcoin was no exception. As the sun set on Bitcoin's golden era, the aftermath of its meteoric rise began to unfold. The market, once a booming hub of activity, witnessed a series of crashes that sent shockwaves through the global economy. Investors who had once basked in the glow of Bitcoin's ascendancy found themselves grappling with the harsh realities of its decline. The allure of Bitcoin, with its promise of quick riches, had stirred a kind of greed that was unparalleled. It was a greed that didn't discriminate, affecting both the seasoned investor and the novice alike. Individuals from all walks of life were drawn into the Bitcoin frenzy, pouring their life savings into this digital gold rush, hoping to strike it rich. But when the dust settled, the consequences of this greed became all too apparent. Many who had invested heavily were left with nothing but a gaping hole where their savings once were. The world watched as countless stories of financial ruin and despair began to surface. Lives were changed irrevocably, dreams shattered, futures uncertain. Bitcoin's tale was not just a story of a digital currency, it was a cautionary tale of how greed can blind us to the risks involved. It was a stark reminder of how unfettered desire for wealth can lead us down a path of financial ruin. It showed us that while technology and innovation can open up new opportunities, they can also breed avarice that can lead to devastating consequences. The Bitcoin saga also highlighted the wider impact of such market crashes. Economies were shaken, financial systems questioned, and the faith in digital currencies severely tested. This wasn't just about individual investors, it was a global issue that had rippling effects on economies worldwide. In the end, the Bitcoin frenzy served as a stark reminder of how global greed can lead to downfall. It forced us to take a hard look at our financial choices and understand the true cost of letting greed dictate our decisions. It was a lesson in humility, a wake-up call, and a call to action for a more responsible approach towards investing. In the end, the Bitcoin frenzy served as a stark reminder of how global greed can lead to downfall. So what can we take away from Bitcoin's journey and its impact on global greed? From its inception, Bitcoin sparked a phenomenon that took the world by storm. This digital gold ignited a flame of desire, a hunger for more that resulted in a meteoric rise unlike anything we've seen before. It beckoned people from all walks of life, creating a frenzy that fed into the global greed we see today. But as we've seen, this intense desire for wealth and success can lead to significant consequences. The aftermath of Bitcoin's rise has shown us the dark underbelly of greed. Financial instability, market manipulation, and even personal ruin have become all too common in the wake of this digital currency's ascent. Yet Bitcoin also serves as a potent symbol, a mirror reflecting our own avarice. It's a lesson, a reminder, that while ambition can drive us to great heights, unchecked greed can lead